before I report it. You know, I trust just the news. I trust Deseret. What are we waiting for, like, the AP?
The event has the whole world buzzing. Charlie Kirk was reportedly shot at, and the reactions are nothing short of explosive. From shock and outrage, unbelievable moment will leave you questioning everything.
Pray. We can pray for this. Pray for his family. Pray for his children. His 2 young children.
Channel and hit the bell icon. The atmosphere at Utah Valley University shifted from tense anticipation to chaos in a matter of seconds. Conservative activist Charlie Kirk, the founder of Turning Point USA, had just taken the stage at an influential conservative podcasters and a figure deeply entrenched in the MAGA movement. Any act of violence directed at him, poured in within minutes, lighting up political networks, dominating news cycles, and sparking fierce conversations about security, free speech, and the increasingly hostile climate around political figures.
Phillips, we're coming on the air because ABC News has confirmed conservative activists and
wasted no time weighing in. Utah Senator Mike Lee quickly signaled he was monitoring development attack as an assault not just on one individual, but on an entire movement. Vice President J.D. Vance echoed the sentiment, amplified statements of solidarity, portraying Kirk not only as a political figure under fire, but as a series of events. Questions surfaced quickly. How did a shooter manage to get so close? Why wasn't there a tighter perimeter around an outdoor stage? And why, after repeated warnings from law enforcement about threats to political figures, did security at a high-profile event, agencies, including the FBI and ATF, stepped in almost immediately? Statements confirmed that agents were on the ground, treating the shooting as a serious act. Students described the scene as surreal. One moment, Kirk was delivering remarks. The next, chaos erupted as people screamed.
Activist, writer, and broadcaster, a high-profile supporter of President Donald Trump. He hosts
without what critics say should have been extensive security planning. The fact that the event was already controversial only magnified those on equal footing with other speakers. That division boiled over the moment the gunshot was fired. Detractors who had opposed the event quickly clarified they never wanted violence and condemned the shooting outright. Still,
I'll read to you now. President Trump says, "We must all pray for Charlie Kirk, who has been shot. A great guy from top to bottom."
His history of organizing massive rallies, spearheading voter outreach in battleground states, and serving as a cultural megaphone for Trump-era conservatism positioned him as indispensable. In fact, it was his
Charlie Kirk, my friend, the head of Turning Point USA, radio show host, father,
being shot while engaging with students struck a chord even among some who may not share his ideology. Still, the fractures were visible. While most reactions condemned the seriousness, security experts were quick to weigh in. Open-air rally. Outdoor venues, they argued, inherently create opportunities for threats unless heavily fortified. And in Kirk's,
you can hear the crowd audibly panicking and beginning to run, we're told by our cops.
The shooting has been elevated as proof of the risks faced by those who challenge progressive orthodoxy on college campuses, especially those engaging in open public spaces. It has deepened partisan narratives about who is most at risk and why. And it has raised profound questions about this.
Being back a Catholic priest based in Minneapolis or Minnesota, out in Bozeman, right? Yeah. Thank you for being here so much.
To get to that point where we say, what, how do you make sense of this? Is that the symbol of Christianity, which is actually is the symbol of the West, is what? Is a cross. And that sense of like the cross.
Would want a single pundit to hold back on their commentary now? No way. That he would certainly not want this to encourage a crisis. You know, articulate life and relationships and a man and a woman, and how he knew that his viewpoints were important, that his opinions on those things mattered. That opportunity. Went on this smaller podcast and something about coffee in the morning. I can't remember.
I know this is like super provocative, but like deep down, they want a man to be able to provide for them financially.
Should a man pay on the first?
Like, who are you? It's like, I'm just sorry. It's so. I would go into debt and like scrub dishes. I'm sorry.
The money, what a gem. How does you lose family? It happens in slow, gradual ways, and it can happen back to the same place. You guys have heard me say it. And those are the things that Charlie leaned into too. He loved getting out there on the road and going to college campuses. He loved coming on camera. He loved debating with people. He loved to have staff. Doug just, and hug, move forward with priorities in place, with love, only your work. Make sure that Valve gets some daughter. I've said to my daughter, who's of course, very empathetic because she's a teenage girl, when other things happen around you as if it's personal, because it'll break your heart. Get on to skip by yet another tragedy without institutionalization. Talk directly to the president about it. I promise you that's what I will do. But what is it? We need to know what it is. And to know what it is, we need to catch the person. So it's all hands on deck. If you know anything, if you have any reason to believe it's someone you may know, or you've heard something, or you're in Utah, we have a lot of fans out there, contact the FBI. I have no doubt that Kash Patel and Dan Bundy. We need to catch the person, and we need to find the motivation. We need to punish the person, and we need to punish the people who created the motivation, the circumstances that led this person to think around. But it makes sense. He's young, can be